These kids don't want to learn.
That's from a good tree in a good year.
Welcome to the Sugar Bush Fair.
Is it your first Sugar Bush Fair?
Of course.
Is
I've
it-
never heard of Sugar Bush Fair before.
Is it Rumi's first Sugar Bush Fair?
Definitely.
Oh, Rumi, you got food on your face. Poor baby. So I believe the Sugar Bush Fair to be a celebration of tapping the maple trees for syrup. I guess they call them sugar bushes.
So it's a Canadian thing.
No.
This way.
There's a lot going on here, huh? That smoke. The smoke smells good, huh?
Yeah.
This is what we came here for, the Sugar Bush Trail. Short walk through the history of maple syrup.
Once I'm gone, all the knowledge that I have.
Native American sugar cane. They did not expect this.
These kids don't want to learn. I don't care if you're native. I
How
don't
is
care
he
if you're white,
trying?
brown, black, purple, or green. No one wants to know this because it's hard. They'd rather do this.
The first step.
I can smoke. I can dry. All that here,
And be outdoors.
and then be outdoors, and then take this with me.
Oh my God.
There's going to be a test. You better ask. Everyone in the village would get a piece of his first deer, except him. Because a real man will make sure everyone has something to eat before himself. Today's man, me first. Me first. It's all about me. No. He will make sure everyone gets a piece of his deer. Then you'll cut what you're going to eat for that night, but then everything else has to be dried and cut into jerky, because that's how you preserve it.
Really? Do you like Sugar Bush? Do you like Sugar Bush Fair?
Let's go to step 2, Rumi. It's open. Step 2, the 1800 Pioneer Sugar Camp. It's not a phone number. 1-800 Pioneer Sugar Camp. So this is the Pioneer Sugar Camp.
1800s. And again, this is sugar. They're making syrup. 1800s, they're making sugar. They're making sugar because you've got, this only happens once a year for, on average, about 2 weeks. So you've got 2 weeks to lay in a year's supply of sweetener. And sugar is a whole lot easier to store than syrup. So they made sugar. And everybody in the neighborhood got together to do this because it's very, very labor intensive. Again, 40 gallons, if you're making syrup, 40 gallons of sap to 1 gallon of syrup. At best, at least 40. That's from a good tree in a good year.
Wow.
It'll take 40 gallons. And then sugar, less than that, but you can always make syrup out of the sugar. Just add water and stir. You do it in reverse. You're taking water out, put some back in, you got syrup. So that's what they were doing. So everybody got together to do this. It was a social occasion. And there was a lot of work, but if everything went well, you went home at the end with something sweet, with a year's supply of it,
Wow.
if they got enough,
I like that.
which didn't
You
always,
like the sugar.
didn't always happen.
Yeah. So
What causes shortage in the sugar or the sap? Is it seasonal?
Depends on the health of the tree. Well, okay, the sap, in the spring the sap runs when the buds are starting to swell. They say when the squirrels start getting frisky, the sap is starting to rot.
So step 3, maybe we're actually making syrup here. The sumac spile making demonstration, whatever that is. I don't know.
Making the spiles, which will go into our tree to gather the sap. And I'm taking these blank pieces of sumac and I shape them using my knife until I get the final shape. And in order to get that hole, I take one of these hot pokers here, which is currently just heating up, so I don't have one ready to burn yet. And I burn a hole right through the center softest part of the spile. This is just a technique
that was used before modern metal spiles were invented.
Uh-huh.
You can use other tools too, but in the field you can use I mostly just use my knife. There you
So
go.
cool.
There you go, buddy.
What's going on over here? You like the Sugar Bush Fair?
Rumi and her first cookie. You like the cookie?
Way better than books to eat, huh?
You like the cookie?
Let's go to level 4, Rumi.
I like this place.
It's cool, huh? You learning some things?
Yeah.
Level 4 is the tree tapping activity station. Putting the metal spiles in here.
Yeah, just try and like put it in there and then.
Fun activities for kids, no?
Yeah.
I'm a little too old, I think, for drilling the holes, but let's go to station 5.
During photosynthesis, we start using this to push buds out. Then the sap changes taste, and we don't tap anymore. Okay. So it's a short period.
This is from Spring Valley. And what's the difference in the color? I missed that talk.
So this lighter syrup, you can see it has more sugar in it. It's got a lot of sugar crystals at the bottom. This is going to be at the very beginning of the season. The tree isn't using all those sugars yet. Later on in the season, the tree is going to start using the sugars to push the buds out.
Okay.
And so it's going to change the taste of the sap once those buds open. But at that time, we're going to get a darker, more maple product. So if you've seen in grocery stores, maple syrup will be like grade A or grade B. Grade A is what you want on your pancakes.
Okay.
That's the real tasty one. Grade B is good for cooking.
Okay.
Good for concentrated maple flavor. Anything you want maple flavor to use a grade B syrup.
Cool, thank you.
We're boiling down about 10 gallons here, and I'm skimming off any of the impurities because we have the buckets outside. We get like little leaves.
Here we have our 4 stages of refining the maple syrup, we would say.
Boiling or
Boiling.
refining.
And this is a more concentrated product than the one over there, right?
Yep.
And it turns this color because it starts to caramelize, or?
The sugars are caramelizing a little bit, but also just the water is evaporating out into the more concentrated.
Okay. Interesting.
Do you want to turn?
The birch wood here is naturally antimicrobial, antifungal, so they'd store the maple sugar. Is there a level 6 still?
I don't think so.
They're doing some. Oh yeah, she says final stage.
Yeah, but we can go to...
The sap spouts throughout the ages.
It's dripping really slowly now, though. It's just so you could get order a spile and a bucket.
Yeah. You like Sugar Bush Fair? You like cookies? Rumi! Rumi!
This way.
Not that lady, this guy!
Likes the lady. Children.
Children! No, Rumi, look! Rumi! Look! Look over it! Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. She's waving.
That's good.
Sausage.
Sausages.
Breakfast sausage. Oh, are these vegan? Vegetarian sausages. That's nice of you. And the final product. All hands on deck with the stoves today. Look at those flapjacks cooking. Get an action shot. A little stack. That's how it's done. Thank you. Oh, and Mickey Mouse. Wow. Great. And time to leave the Sugar Bush Fair and say hello to spring. It's the first day of spring and the frogs are here to sing.
I thought the first day of spring is 21st.
Isn't that today?
First